What happens when you take Virgil and Sephira and they absolutely decimate the universe with their backshots? Well, you get this absolute beast of a man named Calcharo. What's going on, everybody? My name is Phantomatic, and today I'm going to be showing you how to build the main DPS that rivals Xion even after his nerfs, Calcharo. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and let's get to building. Calcharo uses the broad blade, so his best weapon at the moment will be Xion's 5-star banner weapon for the Summit. It increases all resonance damage by 12%, and every time he uses his intro skill or resonance liberation, his heavy attack damage is increased by 24%, which can be stacked 2 times for 14 seconds. This means Calcharo will be getting a 48% increase to his heavy attack damage. It also has base crit damage as its second main stat with a total of 48.60% at level 90. His second 5-star option will be Lustrous Razor, which increases his energy regen by 12.8% when his skill hits a target. And his Resonance Liberation gets a 8% increase in damage that can be stacked twice for 12 seconds, which will be a 16% damage increase to his ultimate. As for his 4-star options, the best would be Autumn Trace, which will increase his attack by 10% when his basic attack or heavy attack hits, and can increase his defense by 18% for 10 seconds, which can be stacked 3 times, which would be a 54% defense increase. It has crit damage as its second main stat, and you can get this weapon by pulling. Second would be Helios Cleaver, which increases attack by 3% every 2 seconds within 12 seconds after using his Resonance skill, which can be stacked 4 times. And when this number of stacks reaches 12, the stacks will reset, which means if one 4 stack is 12%, then 2 more 4 stacks on top of that will give Calcharo a 36% attack increase. Lastly, Broadblade number 41 is his last 4-star option, which increases Calcharo's attack by 12% if his HP is above 80%, and heals his health by 5% by using basic attacks and heavy attacks if his HP is below 40%. Which can be triggered once every 8 seconds. As for his 3-star options, Guardian Broadblade and Broadblade of Night. When it comes to echoes and sets, the 5-set Void Thunder is his best option, being able to increase his electro damage by 10% with the 2-set, and with the 5-set, increases electro damage by 15% when using his heavy attack and resonance skill, which can be stacked twice for a total of 30%, and each stack lasts for 15 seconds. There's also the 5-set Lingering Tunes, which will increase Calcharo's attack by 10% with the 2-set, and with the 5-set, increases his attack by 5% every 1.5 seconds while he's on the field. That stacks up to 4 times, and his outro skill damage is increased by 60%. As for echoes, there are 2 4-star echoes, Tempest Memphis and Thundering Memphis. And for the Lingering Tune set, there's the 4-cost Mech Abomination. So, as for who I think is better, I'll have to go with Thundering Memphis. Sure, Tempest Memphis can increase heavy attack damage by 12%, but Thundering Memphis increases Calcharo's Resonance Liberation damage by 12%, which I honestly feel is more valuable than the heavy attack damage. When it comes to 3-cost echoes, you'd want to prioritize having Flautus on whatever your build is. It can gain 1 Concerto energy for each of the 10 hits that lands. And speaking of regaining Concerto energy, his second 3-cost is going to be Violet Feathered Heron, which has a parry stance, and if the parry stance is successful, you regain 5 Concerto energy. As for which main stats you should prioritize on your echoes, for the 4-cost, you'd want to have crit rate and crit damage. Your 2 3-costs should have electro damage, and your 2 1-costs should have attack percent. As for substats, energy regen should be first on the prioritized list. With energy regen, it'll help Calcharo gain his ultimate a lot faster to unleash his Deathblade gear state. Second and third would be crit rate and crit damage, and your last 2 should be attack percent and flat attack. When it comes to what talents to prioritize, it's going to be his Forte circuit, then his Resonance Liberation, then his Resonance skill, then his attack, and lastly, his intro skill. When it comes to which characters are good with Calcharo, I'd recommend Jian Xin, Mortefi, and Sanhua. for the sub-DPS category. Jianzhen not only being an incredible unit, but with her outro skill, she can increase the next character's resonance liberation damage by 38%. Mortefi can do follow-up attacks when he uses his ult, and can increase the next character's heavy attack damage by 38% for 14 seconds with his outro skill. And Sanhua can increase the next character's basic attack damage by 38% for 14 seconds with her outro skill. As for supports, Verena and Baiji are great options for Calcharo. And that's gonna be it for Calcharo's build. I appreciate all the love and support you guys are really showing me. I really do appreciate it. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next Wuthering Waves video. Signing off.